Seeing something and truly grasping it are two totally different things. When archaeologists start digging, they often have a clear idea of what they expect to uncover, but sometimes what they find goes far beyond anything they imagined. Whether it's something as small as a coin or as big as a castle, some discoveries leave them completely baffled. And in this video, we're looking at the 15 ancient discoveries that prove history was far more strange than we ever thought. Let's begin with number 15, the sunken city of Canopus. Some cities fade slowly with time. Others vanish all at once without any explanation. Canopus belongs to the second kind. It was once a thriving center along the Nile Delta, but then it slipped beneath the water over 1,000 years ago, taking its streets, temples, and tales with it. And what's been recovered feels almost surreal. A huge quartz sphinx, statues from different eras, fragments of Roman and Egyptian influence, all layered together. It wasn't just one culture, it was many, living side by side. The city had everything, like a busy harbor, religious centers, and residential life. Pilgrims traveled there, traders passed through. It felt alive. Then came the shifts. Earthquakes, rising waters, and changing land ruined it. Bit by bit, the ground gave way. What remains underwater today is astonishingly intact. Structures, canals, and even fish tanks are still visible beneath the surface. It's not just ruins, it's a preserved moment. One that reminds you how quickly something important can disappear and how long it can wait to be found again. Number 14. The Kef Castle Alabaster Seal. Well, there's no rule in archaeology that says everything found in one place actually belongs there, and this seal proves it. High in the mountains at Kef Castle, among scattered ruins and broken stone, archaeologists found a small alabaster seal that feels misplaced. Now, this weird material alone raises questions. Alabaster wasn't native to the area, so it had to be brought in from somewhere else, and not by accident. The craftsmanship says it belonged to someone with real status, likely connected to the Assyrian Empire. Its surface holds worn carvings, figures still faintly visible, once pressed into clay to mark authority or ownership. Around it, the site told a wider story. There are column bases, tools, and arrowheads, all pointing to a working settlement. The castle, built under King Rusa II, watched over key trade routes. And this seal feels like it journeyed here, carried by someone forgotten, but still leaving something of themselves behind. Number 13. The Tenochtitlan Andesite Sculpture. Well, no one on Earth knows exactly what this figure was meant to be. All we know is that it was buried beneath what used to be Tenochtitlan, sitting there for centuries before anyone saw it again. When it was uncovered, even damaged, it still carried something hard to ignore. Carved from andesite, a tough volcanic stone, the figure stands just over 2 feet tall. One arm is raised like it's caught in motion, while the other once held something, likely a shield. Some link it to Totec, who was a god tied to renewal and rebirth, but also to rituals that weren't exactly easy to look at. Parts of it had been broken off, but many pieces were found and put back together. One arm is still missing. The way it was buried doesn't feel random. It seems like someone wanted it hidden. Well, not thrown away, not forgotten, just kept out of sight until now. Number 12. The Jesus Cup. Now, you don't have to be an expert to understand what this thing is. This small cup was found in the remains of ancient Alexandria, and at first it seems like nothing special. It's just a simple ceramic piece, a bit worn down, with one handle gone. But the moment you look closer, it starts to feel different. It goes back to the 1st century AD, and there's a Greek inscription on it that has people divided. Some believe it points to Christ, which would make it one of the earliest physical references ever found outside religious texts. But there are some who think that's a stretch. and that it could be referring to someone else. And that doubt is what makes it interesting. There's no clear answer, and that's the whole point. Alexandria was full of overlapping ideas and beliefs, and this cup comes straight out of that world, holding on to something we still can't fully explain. Number 11. The Cloister's Cross. There's something almost overwhelming about the Cloister's Cross the moment you look closely. Every inch of it feels alive with detail, carved so densely that your eyes keep finding something new, no matter how long you stare. It is made from walrus ivory sometime in the 12th century, and it holds nearly 100 tiny figures and inscriptions spread across its surface. Scenes from both the Old and New Testaments unfold across it, like prophets, crucifixion, and even resurrection, each one carefully placed. The central shaft shows the tree of life, and while Adam and Eve appear at its base, anchoring the entire structure in symbolism. Small medallions line the arms, each holding its own narrative. What makes it even more intriguing is what's missing. The figure that once stood on it is gone, and no one knows who created it. Some carvings suggest tension between religious traditions, while others feel more reflective. It doesn't offer easy answers. It simply presents everything and leaves you to sit with it. It's simply mind-blowing. Number 10. The Gravettian figurine head. Well, they don't look like much at first. They are just a tiny fragment, no bigger than a thumb, which was found in northern France. But somehow, this small piece has held on to something incredibly rare. It shows a human face from 27,000 years ago. Carved from chalk, it stands apart from most Gravettian finds. Figures from this period are usually worn down or missing detail. But this one isn't. And this otherworldly detail pulls you in. The hair is shaped into a patterned grid, possibly braided or held under some kind of net. Even the face feels deliberate, almost like the artist was working from memory, not imagination. There's no body, so whatever it belonged to is still completely unknown. But even as a fragment, it carries weight. Chalk wasn't the usual material. It holds marks differently, keeping details that might have faded on bone or ivory. Out of so many discoveries, very few feel this creepy and personal. This one quietly does. Number 9. The Winged Victory of Brescia. For centuries, it wasn't visible. Hidden away behind stone and earth, the Winged Victory of Brescia remained untouched, while the city above it changed hands, cultures, and identities. The statue itself dates back to Roman times, likely created during a period when the city was redefining itself under new influence. Wings spread behind her, she represents triumph, but not in a loud, aggressive way. There's something controlled about it. When threats loomed centuries later, the people of the city made a choice. They didn't leave it behind. They hid it, along with other valuables, tucking it between the temple walls and the hillside. A landslide sealed everything in place, unintentionally preserving it. When it was finally rediscovered in the 1800s, it felt less like an excavation and more like a recovery. Now displayed once again, it carries that quiet sense of survival, not just of a statue, but of a decision someone made long ago to protect it. Number 8. The Eagle-Headed Human Seal. Humans have always tried to give meaning to the unknown, and this seal feels like part of that instinct. Found in central Turkey, it carries an image that's hard to ignore. A human head combined with the body of an eagle. It's not a random decoration. It clearly meant something. The seal goes back around 3,500 years, tied to a time when belief and daily life were closely connected. Objects like this weren't just practical. They marked identity and sometimes even authority. The figure itself likely connects to something deeper, possibly myth or spiritual belief. Something strong enough to be pressed onto surfaces again and again. Excavations around it revealed more. Burial sites, ritual spaces, and everyday items all point to a structured way of life. What makes it even great is how personal it feels. And this wasn't just an object. It belonged to someone. Even now, long after that person is gone, it still holds a quiet, deliberate presence. Number 7. The Saka Iron Dagger. Out on the open steppe in Kazakhstan, where the land feels endless, this dagger emerged from the soil with surprising clarity. Despite being over 2,000 years old, its form remained sharp, almost defiant against time. The blade is straight, marked by a central groove, while the pommel curves gently at the end. Details that speak to both function and design. This wasn't something rushed. It was made with intention. Archaeologists link it to the Saka culture, a group known for skilled craftsmanship and a strong warrior identity. Around it, burial mounds told more of the story, larger ones tied to higher status, often including horses laid to rest beside their owners. That detail alone says a lot about how they viewed life and death. The dagger fits right into that world. Not just a weapon, but a symbol of presence, of rank, of a person who once stood where now only traces remain. What do you think about this ancient dagger? Is it cool? Let us know. Number 6. The gold coin of Queen Berenice II. In the city of David, something small but incredibly rare surfaced from the earth. Archaeologists have discovered gold coins tied to Queen Berenice II, not replicas, but real pieces, struck over 2,000 years ago. On one side, her image appears with careful detail, framed by a veil and royal diadem. Flip it over, and a cornucopia takes center stage, symbolizing abundance and prosperity. It's not just currency, it's messaging. Only a handful of these coins have ever been found, and until now, none had come from this region. That alone makes the discovery stand out. They were minted during the reign of Ptolemy III, likely given to soldiers returning from war. A reward, but also a statement of power. What's interesting is what they reveal about the area itself. The city didn't fade after destruction. It continued, adapted, and remained active. Sometimes a coin isn't just money, it's proof that life didn't stop where history once said it did. Number 5. The La Palma ceramic vessel. Deep inside a cave on La Palma, something fragile managed to outlast centuries of change. A ceramic vessel, cracked but still whole, sat undisturbed since the 15th century. A rare survivor from a time that was nearly erased. Before the Spanish conquest reshaped the Canary Islands, indigenous communities lived here, leaving behind only fragments of their world. Most pottery from that era is simple, undecorated, and almost practical to a fault. This piece breaks that pattern. There are careful designs covering its surface, which suggest a shift in artistic expression, like something evolving or something more deliberate. That alone makes it a truly remarkable discovery. The cave itself served as a burial space, which adds another layer of meaning. This wasn't just storage or daily use. It likely carried significance tied to ritual or remembrance. There aren't many objects like this left. What survived did so quietly. And now, after centuries in darkness, it's finally telling a story that nearly disappeared with its people. Number 4. The Crown of Boleslaw I. The brave royal objects tend to carry stories. But this crown feels more like a trail of disappearances than a steady history. Linked to Boleslaw I, the first crowned king of Poland, it was meant to symbolize continuity, passed from ruler to ruler as each took the throne. But its journey didn't stay simple. Legends claim it was gifted by Emperor Otto III, tying it to power beyond Poland itself. Whether that part is true or not, the crown became a central piece of coronation tradition for centuries. Then it started vanishing. Moved, hidden, replaced, stolen, sometimes for protection, sometimes lost to conflict. At one point, royal insignia, possibly including the crown, were melted down into coins during political upheaval. What survives now is more layered than certain. Different versions, different materials, pieces that blur together over time. It's not just a crown anymore. It's a symbol shaped as much by loss and survival as by the kings who once wore it. Number 3. The Obi Rakhmat arrowheads. Uzbekistan is not the kind of place people think about when it comes to early human innovation, but this find changes that. Inside a cave system, a collection of stone arrowheads was found that doesn't fit the timeline people were used to. Some of them are 80,000 years old, which puts them far ahead of where tools like this were supposed to exist. Lay them out, and you can almost follow the thinking behind them. The earliest pieces look rough, almost uncertain. The latter ones feel more controlled, shaped with intent, sharper edges, better balance. That shift matters. It points to someone learning, improving, and refining over time. If these were part of early bow use, and then that idea showed up much earlier than expected, who made them is still unclear. Neanderthals were in the region, but tying them to this level of design is still debated. Individually, they're just stones. Together, they reveal a mind pushing forward far earlier than anyone imagined. Number 2. The Pala d'Oro altarpiece. Well, we've never seen something this loaded with detail without stopping for a moment. Inside St. Mark's Basilica, the Pala d'Oro doesn't ease you into it. It hits you all at once. It began in the 10th century and kept getting added to over time. Gold, silver, and thousands of gemstones like emeralds, sapphires, pearls, packed into tight panels. Every section shows part of the life of Christ. At the center, Christ Pantocrator holds the focus. Around him, saints and archangels fill the space. Below, and the apostles stand in a row, each one shaped with care. This wasn't made to sit quietly. It showed belief, control, and how powerful Venice had become. Give it a minute, and you start thinking about the people behind it, hands shaping it, piece by piece over the years. It's still there now, not trying to impress you, but doing it anyway, without effort. Now, let's end this with Number 1. The Dugout Canoe from Lake Waccamaw. What started as a casual day by the water turned into something far more meaningful when a group of teenagers noticed a shape beneath the surface of Lake Waccamaw. Once brought up, it became clear they hadn't stumbled across debris, but a dugout canoe carved nearly 1,000 years ago. Measuring around 28 feet in length, it speaks of a time when waterways were essential routes, not just for movement, but survival. Crafted from a single tree, the canoe reflects both skill and patience. It wasn't rushed work. For the Waccamaw Siouan people, canoes like this carried more than passengers. They carried connection, trade, and daily life across the region. After its recovery, the canoe was treated with care, even receiving a blessing before being taken for preservation. That gesture alone says something about its value. Objects like this aren't just tools. They hold memory, linking the present to a way of life that once moved quietly along these same waters. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like it, share it, and subscribe for more historic content like this. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you soon.